to Washington State Department of Ecology's 6th Annual Skykomish Cleanup Meeting.
Hi, I'm Kate Riley.
And I'm Dieter Benz. Audience member Mike Pierce questions ditch engineering design.
The other question that came up when I was on city council was there was supposed to have been some type of an engineering design to do something with the ditch. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
I can. We started off trying to and as far as possible, trying to deal with the whole design of drainage that has anything to do with Maloney Creek. We got through 60% design on that. And that concept is in the federal permits and the special use permit that we are negotiating with the Forest Service. So that's as far, however, as we could afford to go. There are some permitting issues and just general budget issues that meant we've had to cut back.
Just weeks ago, town officials were telling citizens that there was plenty of money, and charges of missing funds and wild spending were unfounded, silly, and just plain wrong.
This evening we're informed that what's really carrying us forward are TARP funds and anything else Kirk Pearson and others can scrounge up from Washington state and federal taxpayers who haven't yet heard about the new austerity.
What happened to BNSF paying to mitigate the pollution and restore our town?
Why are stressed taxpayers across this great land now being asked to pony up for Sky's cleanup with borrowed and printed TARP funds?
Is this fair to America?
When we first got started on the Maloney Creek project, we had the thing all laid out. We were going to do, frankly, we were going to do a lot more than we can do now. But we ran into a permit situation, adding considerably to the design cost. And so now we have a situation where we had a fixed amount of money. More of that's being used for design and permitting than originally anticipated, leaving less for construction. So that's the situation. We're going to construct what we can with the money we have left.
But I can tell you, we have put a lot of effort. I mean, that's surveyed, it's designed. There's a tremendous amount of progress made in that direction. So if we can find another funding source or another way to get it done, we should be able to do it within the access that we'll have from the Forest Service and under the current NEPA, environmental review, federal environmental review. Paving inside comes from U.S. Housing and Urban Development and the federal stimulus program, ARRA, Recovery Act.
Have irresponsible and negligent financial decisions by town officials now caused federal taxpayers to borrow and print money to help us out? Is it right that our children and grandchildren pay interest forever so we can consume beads and trinkets today without having to pay for them?
People seem to prefer stealing from those who can't defend themselves or aren't even born yet, instead of paying their own way in the world.
How selfish and short-sighted to condemn future generations to live in poverty so we can maintain an unearned consumption level today.
Kind of leaves you dizzy and dazed.
Next, Mike Pierce follows up on his original question regarding ditch engineering design by stating that because a lot of that water that comes off the hill behind the houses is what floods Old Cascade Highway.
A large percentage of the water that floods West Old Cascade Highway comes off that hill. It doesn't come out of Maloney Creek.
Right.
It's got to come down the hill into the ditch and go east into Maloney Creek, or we haven't solved the problem. I mean, we fixed
You're right. We have
Maloney Creek, but we haven't fixed the source of where the water's coming
We
from.
haven't solved the whole problem. You're right. But we have a design for solving it, but we don't have the money to do it. So that's basically what it is.
Where did you say the missing $2.3 million is, Mayor Black? Wouldn't all that money be helpful right about now?
Next, an audience member asks about a $4,200 sewer connection fee.
I have a comment.
Yes.
What is the city going to do with all the money they're going to make with this new sewer system? There's 4 spots back there where I'm at, and it's going to come to $4,200 a year just for the plumbing in that place.
Mayor Black quickly changed his subject by responding that our town has a $42 basic monthly fee.
That's a lot of money.
Well, it's $42 a month is the individual rate. You're talking about an installation of essentially four residences.
Yeah.
During his tap dance, the mayor does, however, reveal that the deliberate front-loading of benefits and backloading of wastewater maintenance and operating expenses will throw a heavy burden onto the backs of future ratepayers, just like we're now doing with Washington State Capital Fund and federal TARP monies.
One of the good things is that not only do we get the wastewater treatment facility, but we also got a large amount of money to offset the cost of the operation over the next 20 years. So our utility bills will be kept down because we'll be able to draw money from this pot of operations and maintenance money that's specifically designated for that one purpose and nothing else. So we have rates that are actually lower than they might be otherwise.
Next, Ecology's Brad Petrovich thanks Kirk Pearson and everyone for staying plugged in and helping Ecology with funding to keep this thing moving.
On Ecology's part, I just want to say, thanks to the mayor and the town, thanks to Alan for being up here, and also Representative Pearson for coming up and staying plugged in, helping Ecology with funding to keep this moving.
What happened to BNSF paying for this cleanup?
Where has all the money gone for issues like the flooding of Old Cascade Highway?
How come everything's screwed up now, but going to be spectacular in a fuzzy future?
Are we just seeing the results of extremely poor decision-making by mayor and council?
Next, Mayor Black coaxes Kirk Pearson and then Alan Stegman to speak.
Kirk, do either you or Alan have anything you'd like to add?
Kirk's been around a long time and knows what we've all been going through.
I know this is, for a lot of you, I've been here in the legislature long enough, and I know it's, for a lot of you, you've gone through a lot, and thank you. The state, we have made quite a contribution to this through the years in the capital budget, which I'm a member of, and this year was no exception. Even in a bad year, this was very important. We were able to get $284,000 in a capital budget at a time I didn't think we'd have any money this year, but just here to support you all any way we can and any way I can too, and I'll stay here late if you want to talk and tell me your stories, but thank you for inviting me.
Bragging about spending other people's hard-earned money while our state and nation struggle to bring deficit spending under control isn't right.
Next, without even the courtesy to stand up, BNSF General Environmental Director Alan Stegman delivers a 59-second presentation to Sky.
He states, "Looking good is the goal."
I don't have anything else to say other than that, we did meet with the mayor and Ecology a number of times this year, and we do sympathize with a lot of your frustration on dealing with this cleanup for the number of years that we've been working on it. We know it's been a hindrance to the town in a lot of ways, but also I think we share the mayor and the town's vision of trying to get the restoration done as soon as possible and mostly getting it completed this year. And we've had a number of meetings with the mayor and better understanding his vision and maybe a little bit more of what the town's expectations were for getting what done and when and how things would need to look to make you guys satisfied. And we've been here for a number of years, and this cleanup's cost a lot of money. And at the end of the day, we want the town to look good, and we want the town to be happy with the work that we've done out here. So that's our goal.
Thank you, Alan and Kirk.
What about actually cleaning up the pollution, restoring utilities, and repairing damaged structures?
It's a good thing we were able to capture Mr. Stegman on video, as his extreme brevity and sitting position made it especially difficult for many to view.
That's it for Ecology's 2011 annual gala event.
Stay tuned for the June 13th council meeting video.
It's the most action-packed to date.
Don't miss it.
Thanks for taking your valuable time.
I'm Kate Riley.
And I'm Dieter Benz.